I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game. I paid for the seat. I paid for the seat, boy. You were on me. I'm watching the game. You.
Another day, another heckling fan of Russell Westbrook. For the second time, we have seen on video a white basketball supporter called the NBA player boy. It happened recently here in Miami, Florida, and previously in Utah, when Westbrook was with the Oklahoma City Thunder. A fan saw Russ dancing pregame and uttered, "Here we go, boy." Russ would try to handle it until the fan would double down and say it one more time, "Here we go, boy." Russ, with his hand out, would utter, "That's disrespectful." For safety purposes, Westbrook would call over a member of security and nip it in the bud. It wouldn't be the last time, though. In Utah, for a second time, Westbrook had a back and forth with a fan that turned ugly.
Me and him were just... It was actually, we were kind of having fun, to be honest. And he had, I guess, heat. I thought it was ice. I just told him, I'm like, just sit down and ice your knees, bro. And he turned to me and he's like, that's heat, that's heat. And I'm like, well, you're going to need it. And then it turned into not safe for work.
Shane Kiesel, a supporter of the Jazz, would tell his side of the story.
Young man and his wife in the stands told me to get down on my knees like he used to. And for me, that's just completely disrespectful to me. I think it's racial. I think it's just inappropriate in a sense of there's no protection for the players.
In the end, Kiesel would be banned for life by the Jazz organization for his actions. The insults this man deals with would leave others distraught.
Russell, you good? No, you good. You good. I ain't no little kid. I know you're not a little kid. I ain't no little kid. All right, Russell. Yo, but yo, stop playing so. That's what I'm saying. You're good. You're nice. Russell, you're nice. You're not a little kid, Russell. I know. Yo, Russell, I with you. I just want you to play better. I bet on you every night. Come on, man. I bet on you. You're good. Yo, let's cut. Take it easy, Russell. You're Russell. You're a goof. You're a goof, bud. You're a goof, bud.
Yet he continues to trudge on. Completely unnecessary, but par for the course from many fans. In honesty, this is a man who has dealt with it for years. His fiery passion on the court is mistaken by many, concocted by theories in the name of fanship, and transformed into a deep hatred for not just the player, but the man. His wife would once tweet, "When I'm being harassed on a daily basis over basketball games, and I'm having obscenities and death wishes for me and my family sent my way because you're expressing your truth, it's hard for me to get on board with that. It's very important to understand the difference between name-calling and telling one's truth. It's even more important when you have a platform and a network to share your truths with millions of people. It requires a certain level of responsibility."
Russ, just off the court, your wife had a social media thread today that I think gave opened kind of a window to some of the extreme things that have happened to your family this season. People kind of talking.
My career, you mean?
Well, it seemed like it was about this season, but I was wondering if there was anything you could speak to that.
Yeah, I think, for one, I 100% stand behind my wife and how she's feeling because it's not just about this year. right now she's reached a point, and my family has reached a point to where it's really weighing on them, and it's very unfortunate, just for me personally, because this is just a game. This is just a game. This is not end all be all, and when it comes to basketball, I don't mind the criticism of missing and making shots, but the moment it becomes where you know, my name is getting shamed, it becomes a issue. I've kind of let it go in the past, you know, just because it never really bothered me, but it really kind of hit me the other day. Honestly, I was, me and my wife was at teacher-parent conference for my son, and the teacher told me, she's like, Noah, he's so proud of his last name. He writes it everywhere. He writes it on everything. He tells everybody, he walks around and says, I'm Westbrook, that's his last name. And I kind of sat there in shock, and it hit me like, damn, like I can no longer allow people, you know, for example, Westbrook to me is now shaming, like it's shaming my name. It's my legacy for my kids. It's a name that means more, not just to me, but to my wife, to my mom, my dad, the ones that kind of paved the way for me. And that's just one example. I mean, that kind of hit myself and my wife in a place where it's not great, man. And you know, I think a lot of times, you know, I let it slide, but it's now time to put a stop to that and put it on notice. Like, there's a difference, and we need to make sure that it's understood. And every time I do hear it now, I will make sure that I address it and make sure that I nip that in the butt.
Before we begin, if there are any stories that we missed, locally, nationally, globally, get at me on social media. I'll throw up the graphic. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, DMs are open. Send a story if you'd like us to take a look at it. As I see the complete hatred that fans have for Russell Westbrook, I must ask, when does it feel like it's excessive for some? When does it feel like they are stepping over, and not only stepping over, but maybe even long jumping their way over the line? How many examples must we have? And for NBA fans, why is it Russell Westbrook seemingly being public enemy number one? And why does it have to leak over? Not that it's even necessary with the Westbrook hate, but why does it have to lean over and bleed over into his personal life? Attacking his kids? Attacking his wife? Throwing obscenities their way? I remember reading a report, whether it was last year and a half ago, where his family didn't even want to go to games anymore because of the hatred they receive. Really? Is that where we are at as a society? I know that we have been desensitized completely in the last 7+ years, I would say, seven or more years. And yet still, I find this to be incredibly troubling. Because as much as you may love or hate a player, I think what we try to illustrate is how Bill Russell once said, I am a basketball player, but basketball doesn't define me. It's his job. It's his occupation. It's his career, but it's not him. He is still a man. And that's where I think many fans just cannot let their minds go, because they fuel on this hatred. They fuel off of each other, basking in the hatred of an opponent, let alone an easy target like Russell Westbrook. I understand that there are certain instances where the criticism, could be warranted, but there has to be some sort of line. And when it starts trickling down and over into areas that are clearly sensitive and off limits, it is time for many fans to look in the mirror and realize what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.